everybody, it's Rabbit, and I have actually had this video request made numerous times just because quite a few of you are aware that a lot of the work that I have done throughout my master's and even my undergrad pertained to eating disorder and body image awareness education, or promoting basically positive self-esteem. I could honestly rant about this whole topic and talk to you guys about ways to have a much more positive body image / self-esteem for hours and hours. I can definitely talk about this for a long time, but I know that a lot of people who watch YouTube videos, you guys prefer everything to be very succinct and brief. So I am just going to be taking 5 tips and sharing those with you guys. And these are things that I've seen work in my life and that I've seen work in the lives of girls that I've worked with. I actually taught for a year and a half a class about eating disorder awareness and body image, positive body image promotion. So these are some things that I have seen work in others as well as in myself. And if you guys have any tips, for sure leave them down in the comments below, because I think that it really does help to just see that there are other people out there who are experiencing the same things we are, as well as just knowing that there are some more ideas. So maybe if there are some things that didn't necessarily work for you, you can look at some of these things that you guys suggest or other people have suggested and give those a try. I guess before I start, I should probably do a disclaimer, because there are always trolls on the internet who like to start fights and be exceedingly critical for no reason. I don't know if it's because they're unhappy or they're bored or they think it's funny. I'm not sure what their deal is. One of the things that I've actually seen people argue, whether it's in papers I've received from students or just people who have approached me after I've given a presentation, like at a sorority house or something, and these people have often said to me, like, one of their, I guess, thoughts behind why they're against promoting positive body image, which sounds really, I know, I don't know why anyone would be against the promotion of a positive self-esteem, but the argument that I've heard from some people is that they feel like telling everyone to be happy with who they are and to love themselves no matter what they look like and where they're at promotes obesity, because basically you're telling people to be content regardless of their circumstances. So I want to address that head on, because I'm sure I will get a couple comments of people saying that body image positive promotion is nonsense and blah 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 blah. I am not promoting people being unhealthy. If you are obese or significantly overweight, it is really important to make some lifestyle adjustments just so that you can feel better and live longer. And I'm not going to get into all of the reasons why being obese is not the best health status to have. But it's been my experience that people who are really overweight or people who are obese already know. They already know that they need to make changes. And most of the people that I've met have been making small steps to correct where they're at. I don't think there are that many people out there who are really overweight who are just thinking, it's not going to harm me, it's not going to do anything. I kind of liken it to smoking, where a lot of the people who smoke know that smoking is bad for you, but they do it anyway, and they're hopefully trying to change that. So I think as far as actual knowledge that being really overweight is unhealthy, most people are already aware of that, because we're in a society where we're thrown these messages all the time that we need to be thinner or we need to be more active, blah, 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 blah. I don't think that's an issue. So with that being said, why do I then continue to promote having a positive self-esteem and positive body image if I just said that I am not promoting, just being obese and not thinking that you need to change? Well, my thought process is that it's important to be happy with who you are regardless of where you're at. And most importantly, the people who tend to be happy with themselves and love themselves, they do care enough about their bodies to where they want to be as healthy as possible. They want to have as high and as positive a quality of life as possible. So if you're overweight and you're working to lose weight, why not still love yourself throughout the process? It's a journey being healthy. It's a journey being fit. and just beating yourself up constantly and always comparing yourself to things that you see on TV or you read in magazines, you're just going to make yourself miserable the entire time, which is going to significantly decrease the likelihood of you succeeding at whatever your weight loss or fitness goals are. So I think that having a positive body image and having a positive self-esteem is important regardless of where you are at on your journey. So maybe you're already in one extreme where you're really fit, you're really active, you're really healthy. It's still important to love yourself. If you're not that and you're at the other extreme where you are overweight and you're struggling to make changes to your diet and to your lifestyle, still love yourself regardless, because life is short, and if you're miserable, I always tell people this, like, what is the point? What if you die the next day? Like, is it worth it to constantly be just so hard on yourself and talking badly about yourself? It accomplishes nothing, first and foremost, and you just feel really awful all the time. So I don't know, I just think it's a trap, and I think that mindset that being happy regardless is also a trap, and I think that first and foremost, loving yourself is really going to help set the stage and set the pace for how successful you are with your weight loss or fitness endeavors. Okay, so my little disclaimer is out of the way, so now I feel, well, at least to a certain extent, I'm sure someone is still going to argue against positive body image, and you're welcome to. I love listening to other people's thoughts and opinions, but at this point, I'm going to launch forward and I'm going to share with you guys 5 tips that I think are pretty good ones. Like I said, there are many others out there, but I'm just going to focus on 5 just to keep this video as brief as possible, because I know you guys really like that. So yeah, here are 5 tips and suggestions to help you have a much better self-esteem and much more positive body image. So the first thing is a little bit of an umbrella, and it has 2 facets to it, and that is to alter your environment as much as you can. So the 2 little, I guess, bubbles that come out from underneath this is that your environment can pertain to things that you're watching / reading / seeing, so we'll just consider that the media, and it can also be your peers or your friends and anyone who's around you. So starting off with the media, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying magazines that talk about like the Kardashians or celebrities. You know, that's really fun to, look at what other people are doing and to just for a little while at least immerse yourselves in someone else's life. I totally get that. But I think at the same time, sometimes people get really caught up in this illusory life that's painted as being ideal when it's not even necessarily attainable, and it may not even be real. So I think as far as altering your environment in relation to certain media facets that you're indulging in, I think it's really important to just consider what impact that's having in your life. And if it's not a big deal, if you're okay with watching a lot of reality television shows that promote a certain lifestyle and that put a really big emphasis on makeup and your hair being perfect and your nails always being done, that's fine. Continue to keep up with the Kardashians if that's what works for you. But if you feel like you're always comparing yourself to the people that you're reading about in magazines and the images that you're seeing online with some of the tabloid websites, then I would say stop going to them, stop reading them, and just remove that from your life. So on the flip side, with the other little bubble category underneath altering your environment, it comes to your peers. And this one I also understand, and I've talked with a lot of girls about this, you can't always control who your classmates are, and you can't control the things that other people say. So when I'm talking about changing your environment in regards to peers, I'm talking about your girlfriends who they spend the night with you and you hang out all the time and you do things all the time and you're always on the phone together or Skyping when you're on vacation. They are your bosom buddies. I have, in my personal experience, had some friends that I loved so much, but they were so negative about themselves, about me, about other girls we knew, or even just about girls we would see if we're out to dinner that we don't even know what they're going through. They love to be negative all the time. Am I saying to not hang out with these people anymore and to not ever talk to them and to be hostile? Absolutely not. My point is that if you're around someone who's always being negative, that's going to somehow seep into your feelings and seep into your life. So what I think is you should either talk to that person and try to get them to see that they're being exceedingly negative, or you may just have to slowly limit the amount of time that you spend with them and try to surround yourself with more positive people, because I hear this all the time, and I am a firm believer that the people that you surround yourself with are a reflection of you. So if you're hanging around people that are always negative, more than likely you're also negative, or you're feeling negative on the inside because you're constantly listening to them droll on about whatever. Finding people who are happy, finding people who always are just expressing love and who are really open, that is going to make you be much happier. So that first thing contains some components that you may not have that much control over. So the next four, you will be able to control quite a bit more. The next thing that I often tell people to do who are wanting to increase their self-esteem or increase their body image is to create a list of all the people that they admire, or even just like one or two, just pick someone or a group of people that you look up to a lot and list all the things that you absolutely love about them. And then when you're considering who these people are and why you admire them, really truthfully ask yourself, does their appearance have anything to do with why you admire them? Does their weight or their dress size have anything to do with why you admire them? The mindset behind this is, at least for me and girls that I've spoken to, a lot of people admire like their moms or their grandmas or a teacher they once had or a pastor, something like that. For me, I really look up to one of my aunts-in-law. Is that what you would call her? My husband has an aunt who I think is just an incredible, incredible person. She's so gracious and loving, and she's a really beautiful person on the inside. She is a heart of gold. She's so amazing. I could talk about her all day, but that's not what this video is about. If I was to engage in this activity, I would make a list of all the reasons why I love her. So she's a strong example of a great Christian woman. She's incredibly resilient. She's a hard worker. She's non-judgmental. She is so full of love. She's a great mom. She's a loving grandmother. There's just an endless list of things that I love about my aunt-in-law. So having made that list, when I consider all of those reasons that I really look up to her and all the reasons why I want to eventually be like her or to have people look up to me the same way I look up to her, her appearance has nothing to do with that at all. And I think oftentimes when we think about all the things that we really like and we admire about people, like again, coming back to things that we see in the media. So let's say your idol or your hero is Khloe Kardashian. What are the things that we often see about the Kardashians? We see their bodies being promoted, like they're always either losing weight or they're wearing something really skin tight, which is fine. They're gorgeous, beautiful girls, but, is that the only reason you look up to them? Is that something you really want to be attributed to you? Is that something you want to emulate? If you only want to be known for your appearance, I suppose that is your prerogative, but more than likely that's not the legacy most people want to leave behind. So I think that that's a really good activity to assess that and to really see that most likely the people that you look up to and that you admire, you like them for reasons that have nothing to do with how they look. The third suggestion I have for those of you who want to have a much more positive self-esteem or body image is to create another list. And in this list, write down all the things that you love to do and that just bring you a lot of joy. So maybe you love writing, or maybe you like, crocheting, or you like surfing or skydiving, or just anything that you can think of that makes you really happy and you're always looking forward to participating in that or engaging in that activity. After you've made this list, think about how your body allows you to do those things that make you really happy. So, for example, something that I really enjoy doing is playing video games, which sounds really dorky and nerdy, but my sister and I are huge video gamers. We love it, especially retro games. We are so into it, both competitively as well as just for leisure. So if I was doing this and I had, playing video games as my number one activity that just makes me really happy and it allows me to escape when I'm stressed out, things about my body that allow me to do this, well, one, my hands and my fingers. So if I lost my hands, where would I be? I wouldn't be able to play my video games. Or my eyes, they allow me to actually see what's on the screen or what's on the computer monitor. And because of these things, because of my body, I'm able to participate in things that bring me a lot of joy. And I think what this activity boils down to is gratitude, and it's being thankful that you have a body that works. Like, there are people that are born without eyes, or they're born blind, or they lose their vision in a car accident, or they become paralyzed and they can no longer play video games. Or if you love to sing, if someone got in an accident that caused them to lose their voice, you could no longer sing. So I think this activity really helps also put in perspective how useful your body actually is. And it's not just an ornament where you decorate it and you put it out for display. It allows you to live your life and to be happy and to do things that bring you a lot of joy. So I think keeping that in mind and remembering that will help you be much more thankful for the body that you have, and it will help you to stop nitpicking at little things that don't even matter. My fourth tip is a little bit intuitive, and you guys have probably heard about this one a lot because it's what I see a lot of people promoting, especially like the fitness enthusiasts. And this tip is to not engage in some kind of physical activity for the sole sake of weight loss. I think it's really important to pick something that allows you to be active but that you enjoy. So if you really like soccer, go play soccer. If you like tennis, start playing tennis. Or if you are like me and you just really enjoy walking, which also sounds kind of lame, but it's true. Like, my primary form of physical activity is I just go for walks. Every single day I walk for between 45 minutes to an hour, and I don't even necessarily pace myself, but I put on music, or sometimes I'll just be talking on the phone with a friend and I just walk. Like, I'll walk to the park, or I'll walk through our downtown area just taking in the sights and looking at people, but it's something that I really enjoy. And if you enjoy a physical activity, it makes it less stressful on you. And I have found that people that find a way to be active and to exercise in a way that they enjoy and that they really have a lot of fun doing, it doesn't feel like you're even working out. And so you're less stressed out about trying to lose weight because you're not going to the gym to work out for 30 minutes and you're in pain the whole time and miserable the whole time, and you're just literally counting down the seconds to where you can go home, lie on the couch, and dig into that tub of Haagen-Dazs. No, you are excited about going to that soccer match and you're gonna play with your friends, or you're excited about going for a walk to go see whatever's going on in the downtown area, or just whatever it is that you really like to do. I have a friend that seriously the only exercise she really gets is playing on her Wii. So doing like the Wii Fit, or just playing like Wii Bowling, or whatever other games are on the Wii. I actually don't even play mine very much. But if it brings you a lot of joy and it gets you to get up and jump around and move around, absolutely do it and find something that you just like to do and that gets you moving, because you will have a much higher success rate of adhering to that than if you go into this exercise regime that you don't like at all and that brings you a lot of anxiety and stress. You're not going to want to do it because it doesn't make you feel good, and what's the point of that? So my fifth and final tip for you guys, and this is probably, I don't want to say it's the most important because there are so many great ideas out there for ways to feel happier with who you are and to really gain perspective on what's important in your life and in life in general, even if it doesn't necessarily pertain to you. But I feel like this tip really helps me, and it helps a lot of girls that I know, and that is to volunteer somewhere. I don't care where you go volunteer. It can be a bread basket, it can be a homeless shelter, it can be a Goodwill just sorting clothes, it can be, I don't know, an animal shelter. Just pick a place and go in there and work a couple hours a week. And I promise you, especially if you pick like a homeless shelter or some sort of facility that either feeds the homeless or clothes the homeless or helps those who are significantly underprivileged compared to the rest of us, you will very quickly see that all of your concerns over whether you're using this brand of hair product or you're wearing this brand of makeup or you can fit into a size 3 or a size 5 pair of pants, I promise you, seeing people who have little to nothing being excited over getting food or having a coat to wear in the winter, not a designer coat, just knowing that they'll be warm and not freezing, that will really help you see that there are things that are so much more important than our physical appearance. So again, I do just want to bring this back and say that I am in no way saying if you are at an unhealthy point in your life, definitely try to figure out a way to be healthier. But I think at the root of it, being happy is really what's going to make the difference, because if you're happy with the choices that you're making, more than likely you're going to want to be as healthy as you can be because you want to feel good. And when you feel good, I feel like that is also related to your happiness. So again, I'm not an obesity promoter, and I'm not necessarily the kind of person who's going to say, regardless of what weight you are, don't try to make any changes, because I'm pretty sure most of us can make some changes. I know I can make some changes to my life that would lead to me having a better quality of life and just being healthier. So unless you're a major fitness enthusiast and you're working out all the time and you're eating healthy 24/7, there are probably some changes all of us can make. But regardless of where you're at, don't let anyone take away your joy and don't let anyone take away your happiness, because we only have one life to live and it can end at any point. And I think my aha moment with this was when my brother passed away about 2 years ago. It was sudden, and he was just in his mid-20s. It's not like he was really, really old or he was reckless and was like a race car driver. It was really unexpected. And I think it's important that at the end of each day, we can really just look back on the 24 hours that we were given and just ask ourselves, did I make the most out of my day? Was I happy? Was I honest? Was I a good, decent person? Because those are the things that really matter. Coming back to the second activity that I said to try, where you make a list of people you admire and then think about the reasons why you admire those people. Your legacy is not going to have anything to do with your appearance. So when you die, more than likely, you're not going to be remembered for your skinny legs or for your large breasts. People are going to remember you based upon, was she or he a good person? Did they have a family that really loved them? Things like that. That's what really counts. So that's it for my 5 tips. I know this video still ended up going on a bit longer than I would have liked, and I do apologize for that. But I definitely had a lot to say, and since I get asked about this so much, I didn't want to just skip points and just give you a list but not provide any explanation for anything. So yeah, that's it from me, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!